Last year I had to watch as my friends were crowned tag team champions and world champion. And I stood in the distance and watched.
Hangman Adam Page has had a lot of heartbreak. He's had a lot of setbacks.
You can only fall short so many times before it breaks you internally and before it breaks the fans' expectations of you.
People have been waiting a long time for this match to happen.
Truth is, I could never relate to you, Hangman. And I think that's kind of why the fans like to latch themselves onto you. They see more in themselves than I ever did.
At Full Gear, I think winning the AEW World title, the most prestigious championship in wrestling, the thing that I want more than anything in this world. I don't think that anything could feel better.
I don't lose big matches. Hangman, you always lose big matches. You don't stand a chance.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around Multiverse with your host, the Millennial Cowboy Carl Charles, and
the man who does cowboy stuff. See what I had to edit it for the swear word. You know exactly what word I meant.
Yep, it's poo, but the vulgar version. Yes, and we are going to review AEW's Full Gear pay-per-view 2021, which happened over the weekend. Or yesterday, whatever.
You know what? I haven't been disappointed with an AEW pay-per-view overall.
No.
You know, some of them might not have the best matches during the show, but the shows themselves are usually really good. You have more better matches than not good matches.
Yeah, I would agree with that because every match gets the time it deserves rather than.
But I think that also helps that they spread it out between. I mean, they do 4 pay-per-views a year, so they save their big matches for this stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking, okay, you do a cheap finish, and then you can always just repeat the match next month.
Yeah.
Or you could have someone freshly win the title and have their rematch next month, and you're like, yeah, but they're not going to lose the title. They just won a second ago. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it does happen, you know.
It does happen, but yeah, it's.
Yeah. Okay, so on to the first match, right? MJF.
Oh wait, did you watch the buy-in?
Oh no, I did not. Did you?
I watched the second match of the buy-in, if I'm correct.
The ladies match?
Yeah.
Okay, how was that?
That was good. It was Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter versus Thunder, Rosa, and Shida. Yeah. It was a pretty good match. The heels obviously dominated for a certain bit, and then the faces got their comeback. Even though I thought there was a part where they was actually going to lose because Shida has some ongoing feud with Serena Deebs. Okay. And Serena Deebs sort of interfered from a bit. Yeah. So, okay, they're going to lose. But no, they end up winning. So yeah, It was a good match.
I guess so. Like you're saying, who won?
Shida and Thunder Rosa.
Oh, I was going to say if the faces lost, you could have just had the Serena Deeb interference as they're out.
Yeah,
but it still won, even though there was interference.
Yeah,
because it's setting up
for the because all 4 of them have matches in some sort of form for the TBS title coming up. So it's sort of like a reminder that hey, this is still going on.
Oh, it's a good little idea for the pre-show because then it sets up the feuds after. Like you're saying, it does make sense to be what it is.
Yeah.
Are you saying it was all right? It was pretty decent.
It was good. If there's any chance, I would say watch it. But
it
was good.
Check out it later. Okay. On to our first match of actual Full Gear card. MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Darby Allin. Now, Darby Allin loves to do his
his short movies, yeah.
So this time's a car crash one. So okay, first of all, then we're gonna say I don't get it sometimes, right? I get it's good. I get it what he is, right? But as far as I know, yeah. So he's like okay, he comes down with a skateboard, so like a skateboard, but he's got like issues and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But then he's in little movies and I remember remember the last one where he jumped out of the parachute,
Yeah.
jumped out of the plane and never landed, never opened his parachute.
Yeah, that was a bit like, wait, what?
Here's this one crashes his car and just basically is, next to the wreckage. So I'm like, right, okay,
I understood it because it was a whole showing how it's meant to be about how he survived that car crash with his uncle.
Yeah.
Many years ago, whatever. But it also didn't make sense.
Yeah. If you watched it and there was no commentary, you'd be thinking, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Not to make fun. I mean, we're just joking on the guy, but we're like at the same time you got to look at it from an outside perspective. Because what I've noticed during the show as well, they assume you know what's going on sometimes.
Yeah, that's one of my criticisms I'll say about this show.
Yeah.
There's no a lot of the matches didn't have a recap to sort of get you up to speed.
I mean, if they don't have video packages, they do little short interviews spread throughout the show of your competitors, and that way people know what's going on.
Yeah.
But then one of those other things is it depends on how you Then they make you watch the TV to know what's going on. So it depends on which side of the business perspective you're after.
Yeah. Which is quite confusing.
But I know MJF was saying basically I can just take down Darby Allin with a headlock takedown because I'm that good and he is that bad.
Yeah. And until because I've watched all the Darby's matches in AEW. They're not really wrestling matches for say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, maybe MJF's right. Darby's more like this stunt dude who just does things that you're like, why are you doing this to yourself? When you hit 30, this is going to come back and hurt you.
Yeah.
But then watching him, the start of this match when they're doing all the chain wrestling stuff, I was like, okay, Darby actually can wrestle.
Yeah. They surprised me. Obviously, I mean, we've done wrestling, so we know you have to learn to chain and stuff.
Yeah.
But they surprised me because MJF, I would expect it, right?
Yeah.
Darby, I would not. However, I would also expect in this feud for MJF to make Darby Allin do it, except that they kind of went to it together. If you know what I mean, he didn't force him into doing chain. A bit like a long time ago where Steve Austin had a match with Chris Benoit, and they were like, "TZ Austin, you don't even use wrestling moves."
Yeah.
Right? And then Austin being the heel was like, "I'll use as many wrestling moves as I want in this match," and then he just basically, used his own game against it. Rested him on his own level.
Yeah.
Or maybe during the match, MJF would keep on grounding Darby Allin, and eventually Darby Allin would okay, I'll play your game against you. But no, they kind of changed from the start, and I was like, okay.
And I liked how commentary sort of let you in, Darby actually did wrestling in school. Oh, well, I'm only hearing about this now, sort of thing. Cool, good night.
Because in amateur wrestling, he did not do coffee drops, so it was like, yeah, okay,
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense now that he is a wrestler in a way.
I like this match overall. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good match.
In the sense of, how they put the match together. Now, MJF did a backbreaker and he hurt his own knee.
Yeah.
Now, when I was wrestling, I saw a guy do a backbreaker and he hurt his own ankle.
Yeah.
Because he'd done the back. I think he had his ankle wrong when he was given the backbreaker. Yeah. So it kind of twisted, not twisted, but it kind of bent a little bit.
Yeah.
Not badly, but just it sprained. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When MJF hurt himself, I was like, all right, is this actually going somewhere, or did he genuinely hurt himself? Is this a start of his leg starting to weaken through the match? Which it was actually, because then he kept on trying to do backbreakers, and he did this nasty reversal. It looked horrible, yeah. Yeah. Where Darby Allin tried to do a Hurricane Rana, and MJF just basically took him down into a powerbombed him onto his own knee. Yeah. I was like, oof. That's nasty, because that's just your spine straight on someone's, knee. Not even a backbreaker when you can do it from the side. But he kept on holding his leg throughout that, and I was like, oh, okay, I get where they're going.
Yeah, because I liked how MJF was always trying to work over Darby's back, because all the backbreaker stuff he kept on doing to him.
Yeah.
And then I liked how
it ended up hurting his own knee in the process.
I was like, that's pretty good, clever storytelling. And I thought that would work into the finish, but no.
I did it. Oh, there was one bit where MJF is selling a knee. Darby Allin slipped out from behind. I think some sort of move reversal that he did, and he got behind MJF, and then he went to chop block, but he chop blocked the knee that wasn't injured.
Yeah.
The thing is though, MJF being smart, obviously, he sold that, but then he grabbed his leg that was being worked on.
Yeah.
But okay, you're gonna get him back on track because I think it might have been just he came back and he like when you're left and you're right when you're facing someone, and then when you're behind them, your left and your right is the same. It's probably just Darby and it's like was it left? Was it which? Oh damn! I'm reversed from I'll just go to the side I was working on originally, which it wasn't.
Heat at the moment, sort of thing.
Yeah. I did enjoy the rolling small package spot.
Yeah, I love that stuff. That was pretty cool.
It was like a small package, then a reversal, 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then it just started rolling around in circles. Yeah, quite funny.
That's what I was like. Yeah, this match, mate, is pretty good because like this is one of the least matches I went in like caring about. I was like, oh, I'm not really
Well, but to be fair, I think the character work helped, and then how MJF kind of tweaked it to the match to his way.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw most standard Darby Allin stuff, but not just like a spot fest sort of stuff. I did like how there was interference coming, but they never actually got to do anything. The guys came out of chairs, and Sting hit them with the baseball bat, so they never actually interfered.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. What do I think of
the finish?
The finish. It like I didn't see it coming, but I remember early in the match where something kind of fell out MJF's tights and he pulled it back in. But I paid no attention until the end when you see him pull out the ring and knocked out Darby. I was like, okay. And then how he was boasting about, I'm going to beat him with a side headlock.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's a clever way. Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
The bit you did mention was he brought the skateboard in deliberately.
Yeah.
And hit me with it. And then obviously when Darby Allin turns around to throw it away or the ref to get, to take the foreign object out of the ring. Yeah, MJF pulls the item out of his tights, hit Darby Allin, then puts them in a side headlock takedown, and then tells the referee to count.
Yeah. I was like, okay, that's proud of it. Good
Just
match.
as the man prophesied, he won exactly the way he said.
Yep.
So yeah. I liked it. And it always it's a finish that's kind of a non-finish that you can extend the feud.
Of course.
If they're literally gonna exchange wins, because this MJF fought until he could, and then when he couldn't, he was like, I'm just gonna shortcut it.
Yeah. So it's so obvious that it's gonna.
But I expect it from his character. So that's cool stuff.
Yeah, same.
I quite enjoyed it though.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. All right. The AEW tag title match, where it's the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix, versus FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood.
Yep.
FTR being the Triple A tag team champions.
Yep. Triple A blah tag team champions.
So what did you think of this?
I went in when it started. I was like, okay, this is gonna be my favorite match of the night, and it probably is my second favorite match of the night.
Okay. You go on.
It was a classic tag team match in a good way, not in one of them. So it wasn't like a predictable one like other tag team matches I've seen.
You had one team doing all the lucha stuff, of course, and the other team just trying to not ground them, but not even trying to match their own game, just trying to turn the match in a different direction.
Yeah.
Which is good, because that's how the things work.
Yeah.
Quite good match overall. Had some good spots in it. I did like. One bit when you notice, you're like, so FTR hit one of the guys. I think it was Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
with the belt, and then they brain busted him, and then
Yeah.
he kicks out afterwards. That too. I was like, what? I mean, okay, but what you back in the way back when belt shots used to just take people down, and I think if you're telling me now, people have people's skulls evolved to the point where in wrestling, anyways, that the metal of the belt doesn't affect them anymore as it used to, which is also the same with low blows, because some people get hit with low blows, and it used to get 3 counts. But now other people get hit with low blows and they kick out at 2, and you're like, all right, so you're telling me your nuts are also hardened as well?
There's one thing, like something like that happened in the last match as well, where a move is like, okay, that normally finishes a match, but it didn't.
Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that then. But
that was in the first match with Darby and Fink. Something happened in that. I can't remember what it was. It's like that should have been a finish, but okay, cool. Just carry on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, if the belt shot and brainbuster happened later on, I mean, if someone broke up the pin, I probably wouldn't mind so much. Or if they had a breather before the pinfall, but it's just like, all right, so you could have done it, hit with the belt and then kick out maybe, and then do a brainbuster and the kick out, but not literally one followed by the other and then do it.
Well, you could say those AAA belts ain't made out of metal, so. I mean,
your Mexican knockoffs, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it could be. So, just throw it out.
But overall, I still enjoyed the match. One of the FTR got injured.
Yeah.
So, okay, so the finish was that the wrong guy. The FTR started putting on lucha masks.
Yeah.
Right? And then the wrong guy was in the ring when he got pinned.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought in my head, I was like, okay, right, this makes sense because you don't want to make anyone lose properly.
Yeah.
They're AAA champions as well to protect the belts. Yeah. Okay. Fair. But turns out, obviously, one of the FTR got injured, and that's not the actual finish. However, I didn't mind the way it went.
No, because even if
they were going to not make the AAA tag titles look bad.
Because even how they done it, even if he didn't get injured, it still sort of works. Yeah. Like you're saying, it keeps everyone sort of even, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, look. I mean, it depends on how this feud's going to continue and how AAA tag teams, the tag titles are valued. But if you're working in partnership with another group, you probably don't want to make their tag team titles look bad match versus match most of the time.
Yeah.
I wonder what the actual finish was going to be as well. How they were going to do it.
I think that was going to be the actual finish.
But the wrong guy being the
because that's the whole point, the mask bit.
Yeah. I thought they were going to do something like that, but I was just wondering how they were going to put it together before.
Because I think the only thing they didn't do was maybe it's going to end the same, but then they would have restarted the match.
Okay.
But because what's his name was injured, they didn't. They just went, this happened. So they could still sort of, guys say, keep it not clean, but keep it tidy, and then they can always say, well, you never really beat us because the wrong man was in the match, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly. Even though the Lucha Brothers going to say, look, it's your own damn fault for putting the masks on. And everyone's got a reason to say whatever they need to either continue through or just kind of dismiss it,
Yeah. But what I thought was funny is it doesn't work because it does work, but their argument be stupid. But you two look completely different. One of you got a tag on your shoulder.
Well, I think
you're both covered up
on commentary point out, but one of them's got hair.
Yeah,
you can still see the hair behind them under the mask.
Yes, I was if they wore identical things and or bodysuits, then you can sort of get away with. Yeah. Well, you don't know which one is which, but But good match. They won with a elevated Fear Factor driver, and that's how they won. Yeah, good match.
Number 1 contenders tournament final: Brian Danielson, versus Miro. I'm gonna get a shout like JR got shouted at when he said Daniel Bryan. Yeah.
He slipped up once in this match, and he sort of like I heard it, but I paid no attention to it. But then he made a point to say that he got it wrong. It's like, dude, you just put yourself in the firing line. You could just carry on.
Yeah.
No one would have noticed because I was like, huh, and carried on. But because you made light of it, you're like, oh, dude, you're not helping your critics out there.
The thing is, okay. I think he said it multiple times, and that was the issue.
Yeah. He only said it once in this match, right?
I think he said it once or twice. But then again, you know, he could have just said Brian and just left it as.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if he thought it was Brian, okay. Automatically you say as the person you remember them or as they first introduce you or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But Brian covers both because his legit first name is Brian and his kayfabe surname in WWE was Brian. So,
yeah. But
as for the actual match itself, though, what did you think?
I liked it. It was quite brutal.
Yeah. I feel the Brian Danielson matches and the Daniel Bryan matches are really different. Like as character wise, because he comes in here and he really does try to. Looks like he's trying to murder people with his kicks.
Yeah.
Like he's kicked them hard here, and obviously in WWE he played a different role of being the underdog because he was smaller than everyone else. But here he comes in and he comes in to fight.
But you know what? It's gonna sound really not controversial, but I would say I like Daniel Bryan more than Daniel Bryanson. Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. I would disagree with you, but only because he adds a different flavor to the AEW roster by being that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do like Bryan Danielson. I do like him, but I don't know, something about how he sort of wrestled in WWE. I preferred, but I don't know.
I want to say WWE's wrestling. His wrestling in WWE is more kiddie friendly. Is the best way I can put it.
Yeah, it is.
He's not trying to actually, kick people's heads off.
Yeah, but when everyone's kicking everyone's heads off, it gets kind of,
Yeah. But this was good because it was like a big brute getting just. Well, I want to say, like Miro being the big brute himself, right? And then it's just goes your other guy on the other end saying, I'll just give it to you as much as you give it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good striking style match.
Yeah. Even though Miro was more in control of the match.
Yeah.
As he is a tank.
Yeah, so and I like how basically Bryan Danielson was coming back with a combination of strikes and submissions and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
Yeah. And then just getting brute forced.
Yep, getting thrown about, murdered. Yeah, great times.
And they're both they both have submission moves, so they're both kind of working on. I don't want to say being super technical, but at least there's ground grappling games sometimes when things were happening.
Yeah,
trying to get out of the certain maneuvers and stuff. What did you think of the finish?
The finish, I liked it because I like how AEW sort of always said that Miro's got like a problem. His weakness is his neck.
Yeah.
And I like how that played into the finish where I was about to call him D-Bry, but he took advantage of that and hit that tornado DDT thing and then put him in a submission hold, even though he was technically knocked out. So
yeah,
he got the KO in.
I did like the finish, like you're saying, right? When Miro took this. Okay, so it was supposed to be a tornado DDT, except that Brian landed on his own front as well. So it was like a sprawling one. I'm not sure exactly, but either way, it was a DDT from the top rope. Literally, when they're both standing there, right?
Yeah.
Not like a Randy Orton one, where one's on the floor, one's on the ring. They both were on the top rope.
Yeah.
And the way that Miro sold it when he hit the ground, because he didn't. It said didn't collect on the floor, right? Because he obviously had he protected himself. Yeah. But the way that he rebounded from it, looked like he was completely he did hit the floor at the ring mat, and he was completely dazed because he just put his hands on he was on all fours, and he just raised his head slowly, like, what just happened to me? Where am I?
Yeah.
And then Brian locks in the guillotine. Like, that's a nice finish there because it It was a choke out though, wasn't it? It wasn't a tap out or anything like that. Like Miro was basically gone from that DDT.
Yeah, because when I checked on Wikipedia a second ago, it says he won by knockout. So I was like, oh.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? But it looked like it was okay. So the best way you could say is it's really a TKO because it wasn't a submission and the ref called the bell.
Yeah.
So it could have been a knockout from the DDT or, a technical knockout because he couldn't even submit from the guillotine choke. But either way, when he locked that guillotine choke on, the ref was like,
done.
Miro didn't tap out. He was gone.
Yeah.
No, that's a good finish. And I like how the way that Brian Danielson finishes his matches because he hasn't won the same way.
No,
twice,
he hasn't. Yeah. So he's different, which is awesome.
Yeah, good on him for having his signature maneuvers. Like get people crowd involved in his matches, but then finishing in different ways, so it's fresh.
Yeah, he's doing it good. He's doing it good.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this match.
But there's one thing. Even when he was in a WWE, I still every time I watch a match of his, I get worried. Anything to do with heads, I'm like, no, dude. No.
I was going to say the corner drop kicks that when he drops on his own head, right?
That too, yeah. I'm glad he only did one.
Yeah.
Because
and I'm glad he stopped doing the missile drop kick on the flat back bump.
Yeah.
Because they're not good.
No,
they're not good for anyone. And obviously he's eliminated the diving headbutt from his repertoire because he doesn't need to do that.
That move needs to be banned altogether. It's just bad.
Yeah.
Great match. I want to see where this number one contender thing goes because I can't see him winning a title.
Yeah. Well, we'll have a little discussion towards the end as well.
Yeah, of course.
That's what it sets up. All right, Super Click, which is the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson and Adam Cole.
Baby, yeah.
Versus Christian Cage and Jurassic Express, which is Luchasaurus and what's his face?
Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Future AEW champion. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's young. Look, okay. This is a No DQ Falls Count Anywhere match. And this was a match I think was to help elevate Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
I think it was a good wild brawl, I'll tell you that, yeah?
Yeah, it was amazing.
And I think everyone looked pretty good coming out of it.
Yeah, no one looked stupid. No one lost anything from losing.
And no one was... Okay, the ending gave the shine to Jungle Boy, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the whole match was just to make him look strong.
No. There was points where I thought the Super Click were going to win.
Yeah.
And it kind of... You just automatically think it because Adam Cole just came back or whatever. And, Christian Cage is a veteran, so he can take losses and all that stuff, and nothing will hurt him.
Did you like the spot where they put the thumbtacks in Jungle Boy's mouth? Adam Cole had them in a camel clutch, and then the Bucks were just running back and forth, and then they just kicked Adam Cole on the cheek.
Yeah, I love that spot. And then they double super kicked him. I was like, oh, that's a bit.
Yeah. But I think they've done that spot before. I know. Did Cole do that with someone else? With
Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
Time ago in Ring of Honor. Yeah. RIP Ring of Honor. But yeah.
Yeah. And there was the BTE trigger, the triple BTE trigger, right? The super click with their thumbtack knee pads, by the way.
Yeah.
Luchasaurus got it. And I was like, oof, yeah.
Yeah,
but then he was the right person to get it because he was wearing a mask, and anyone else, like Jungle Boy or Christian, right? They would have to probably slash up some of their face. To get that. Where he's wearing a mask, so he doesn't need to have blood, even if all the thumbtack knee pads hit him. So
yeah, exactly.
Like, right, okay.
Because if, like you're saying, if they did it with one of the others who didn't have a mask, and obviously they don't really need him, do they?
No.
It would have been like, but where's the blood?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're wearing a mask, like you said, it's not gonna look as bad or botchy, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was a good match.
And the finish was basically Christian Cage had Matt Jackson in a concerto.
Yeah.
He was going to do it. Jungle Boy comes over. I'll do it. Even though he looked like he didn't really want to do it.
Yeah, because when he tried to do it earlier, Christian goes, you need to do this. He's like, okay. And he took the chair and was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
and then they beat him up, and then later on he's like, you know what? I need to become a murderer.
Yeah. The way he looks at it, the entire facial expression is like, I've got to, I've got to allow the Shashino Hado to take over me.
Yeah, literally, and then he just murders him and becomes Murder Boy.
Yeah, he hits him, and then even after he throws down the chair to do the pinfall, he's like, I didn't want to do this. So the face that he looks at, like, I didn't. Maybe I shouldn't have. Not maybe I shouldn't have, but it's just like it should have got to this point.
Yeah. Which I thought that's a good way. It's like that's character building right there.
Yeah.
Like he went against what he normally believes in or whatever to win.
But it's good. Look, the person getting the rub was Jungle Boy, but he wasn't singly the star of it.
No.
Which is good.
Because Luchasaurus did some awesome spots and stuff.
Yeah.
Like when he chokeslammed Wonder Box off the stage.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Even though everyone caught him, but it still looked cool.
Yeah. So I'd say definitely watch this match as well because how they change, like the way they laid out the most of the card is they don't have certain things interfering with other things. You'll have your wrestling match, you'll have your tag match, you'll have your another wrestling match in a different style to buffer, and then you have this hardcore match. So they actually laid out the card really well.
Yeah. You don't get like overburned.
Yeah.
All
right, on to Cody Rhodes. Now you can use his name. Versus and Pac.
Yep.
The bastard.
Yep.
Versus Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. Yeah. That's it. On Idolito Okio. Anyways, so our boy Cody getting booed even though he's right from the start, even though he's a face.
Yeah.
Look, his jacket looked pretty cool. But yeah.
I think his whole attire looked cool, even when he was in his wrestling tights. I thought it looked cool. But I'm a Cody fan, so I was confused when people were booing him. I was like, what is he?
Well, like I would say, he needs to either start leaning too much into it, then becomes an all-American patriot that gets booed because he's just too in your face about it.
No, I don't think. I think the way they're gonna go, because how the climate is now, they wouldn't go that way because then people start saying it's racist. So what I think they're gonna go with, if you listen to commentary, look at him going like, Cody's gone Hollywood. So I think they're gonna go into that instead.
Yeah.
Because it's easier and less offensive.
Yeah. No, I was going to do you know how the Bret Hart heel turn in '97?
Yeah.
Where he was like, I hate America, but all the other countries love me.
Yeah.
And the problem is you, America, right?
Yeah.
I think Cody could do the reverse of that and just say, I love America. All you people boo me. Just you could tweak it in the way that he still sees himself as a face.
Yeah. But I think,
and all the people turning on him are the heel. The fans are the heels to him.
Yeah, but I think like with the current climate, I don't think you could sort of do it'll come off like Donald Trumpy sort of thing, and I don't think.
Like you say, it depends on how they want to do him. Because I'm thinking from these reactions, you probably should just turn heel then. In that,
Yeah, I think they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. It's gonna be not subtle, but like. We all know he's heel, but he still thinks he's the hero. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best way to do it for now, and then you evolve that even further later on once you've got past those barriers.
Yeah.
Pretty decent match. It was all about mostly how Pac and Cody were miscommunicating. Though to be fair, Cody would get the heel reactions, Pac get the face reactions, and the other opposing team simply because they were against Cody.
Yeah.
Getting the face reactions. So, yeah.
I just thought it was funny, like you're saying, it's like Andrade and Malachi Black are bad guys.
Yeah.
And they just get in the cheers, even though they have done despicable things. You know what I mean? Like yeah.
The other thing is, though, as soon as Cody tagged himself in he didn't help himself when Pac was in the ring. Cody tagged himself in, he got a booze, and then he was like, fine, I'll tag Pac right back in then, right away, because, I'm getting boozed.
Yeah.
But that just seems heelish tactics, so...
Yeah. Like, I just think he knows, he knows what he's doing. That's why I'm like, you know what? I like to see where this goes, because I know Cody is a storyteller and he's doing something. Even though, like, interviews, he goes, "Oh no, I'm a face," but you know from what he's doing, like, dude, that's not.
Well, he knows what he's doing. We know what he's doing, but the character is this way.
Yeah. So I was like, "This is great. This is great."
I tell you what, it was also kind of funny where Andrade threw Cody to the corner, and Cody did, I think, the Ric Flair flip back onto his feet.
Yeah.
From the apron.
Yeah.
And Andrade went to do it himself as well. He ran through the ropes and tried to do the flip. Almost couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Right? But then he knows once he landed back on his feet, when he did make it, he no-sold it.
Yeah.
I would have. He should have sold it. He should have been like, whoa, like wipe his forward, like, ooh, that was pretty close, wasn't it, guys? Just to let everyone in the know, because you're like, yeah, okay.
But he kind of did, because he kind of smiled at Cody, and Cody said something to him.
Yeah, but I thought that was, that could have been interpreted that way. I thought that they were just getting up to the, bad mouthing each other.
Yeah.
But then, he didn't react like he sold it. You know what I mean? To the fans. Because how are you going to hear what they're saying if you're standing back where the barricades are and whatnot?
Yeah.
I think he should have just done something to signal, like point at Cody, go, and then point in the ring, saying, "Oof, that could have been close."
Yeah.
Just to play it a bit more like, yeah, okay, I know I botched up, but it wasn't a bad botch, and I still made it.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. But what did you think of the match? Because I was like, it's not a bad match. I just the reactions are a bit off, but then I expect the reactions to be the way they are.
Yeah, like it's one of those matches. I enjoyed it, but then the crowd sometimes took me out of it from their reactions. You're like, you try and get invested, and they do their weirdness. You're like, I'm kind of out, and then you get back in, and then they do their stuff again, where they sort of hijack the match. You get taken out. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Isn't
that to be fair, that's what happened with all the pre-heel turn Roman Reigns matches.
Yeah.
And then the night matches as well. So
yeah,
like pre-LRJ.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, these are good matches, but you guys are just crapping on it, and it's kind of ruining it for everyone else who's trying to enjoy it.
So Pac got the pin with the Black Arrow, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense because the faces are meant to be cheered, and if Cody got the pin, people would be cheering.
Yeah, I think they called it on the fly that bit. Yeah. And
you reckon that wasn't the actual the original like?
No, I think no, not on the fly. But I mean, like they thought about it ahead of time. Like, yeah, if Cody gets it, the pin, everyone's gonna boo.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I did like how this match was technically both teams coexist because somehow the other team have problems, which I'm like, wait, I'm confused.
Yeah.
You've never established that Malachi and Andrade have a problem. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, at least with Pac, he kind of just said, Cody, because we both hate these guys.
Yeah.
We'll work together, and then after that, we're not friends or whatever. Like, yeah, okay, cool. That kind of sets up their can they coexist thing, but the Andrade one doesn't. And and Malachi didn't really set up any of that. Until 1 minute where they self-tagging each other themselves in. And like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then with a heel tag, I mean, when you have the two heels working against faces, depending on usually like the heels they are pretty smooth working together because they know they hate the other people so much more than they hate their fellow heel. So they'll just get along until the point where they don't get along.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah, besides that. And then after, like you said, Pac got the win. Then the one remaining member of FTR comes out.
Yeah.
And starts kicking Pac in the face, and then he starts kicking up Cody. Then they beat up Cody, and then they run away.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm still slightly confused, but great.
Yeah. I'm actually. It's one of those things where I'm intrigued to see where the Cody storyline is going.
Yeah, same.
If that's indeed where they're trying to go. If they're not, then I'm also intrigued to see the train wreck that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think they're probably smart. They're not gonna hold like. It's not as if someone's in the back like Vince McMahon saying Roman Reigns cannot turn heel. If Cody's not getting his reactions, he'll probably just say, "Look, you can hear it out there. I'm gonna have to turn."
Yeah.
Or do a gradual turn or something like that.
He's doing a gradual turn. He knows, like, Cody is self-aware, but he pretends that he's not.
Yeah.
So,
that's the best thing. That's the best thing.
Yeah.
To get more heat on you that way as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because realistically, if he wasn't self-aware, as soon as he started getting booed, they would have turned him heel, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But he knows about the long burn where it's going to get to a point where when the heel turn does happen, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So, I'm in for the ride.
Yeah. Okay. The women's AEW title, Britt Baker versus Tay Conti.
Yeah, it was alright. That's my...
Okay, I'm going to say, go on, continue. You went, no, and then you said nothing. I was like, right.
Like, I like Ty Conti. I think she's really improved since her NXT days and stuff. But she's not there yet.
Okay.
Wrestling-wise.
Yeah.
And there was things in this match which made no sense. Like, she took 3 stomps, right?
Yeah.
And yet she, like... That's it. So she took one on the step.
Yeah.
Then she got rolled in the ring and took another one.
Yeah.
And then kicked out. I was like...
Yeah. Well, okay, hold on. Let's be fair, right? The stomps are not the same as the Seth Rollins curb stomp, because Seth Rollins curb stomp, you're basically standing up, bent over, right? Yeah. These ones are you're on your knees. So when you're taking it. So arguably, I'm not obviously saying you're incorrect. I'm just saying you could argue the shortened distance, the stomp has less impact.
Yeah, I get that. If she just did the first one, if she did one in the ring, then fair enough.
Yeah.
But she got stomped when she was outside on the steel steps.
Yeah.
Rolled in and then stomped again.
Yeah.
That, that makes no sense.
Yeah, and then she kicked out, and no, she didn't kick out, did she? Britt Baker tried to do the lockjaw, and then Tay Conti rolled it into a cradle.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay, first of all, I do agree with you. By the way, I was like, all right, this match is to make Tay Conti look pretty strong.
Yeah.
And after the stomp on the outside onto the steps, it could have been when she locked in the lockjaw afterwards. That could have been the finish, and you'd have been fine because she
exactly.
done pretty good up to that point as well.
Yeah,
but like you say, then it is a bit of a continuation. Like, okay, right, and then Britt had to do a roll up pin later on to win. I was like, yeah, but a stomp on the steps is probably going to do the job.
Yep,
as your protection,
Exactly.
You could take Conti. You could have just taken that. I mean, whoever set up the match. I'm just saying. We're just saying for the people involved. I think they just could have just went to the lockjaw from that.
Yep.
Like take the stomp, the second stomp, do the lockjaw,
and that's
and then she can feint or tap out or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
She looked pretty strong during the entire process, anyways.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's a good Australian for her. Yeah. She still needs a bit of work. No disrespect or anything, but that finish was a bit okay.
Yeah. I think it's just if they didn't continue, if the finish was the finish, if the lockjaw was the finish, I think it would be all right.
Yeah.
It's just that they continued a bit more. I mean, she had some more spots. So she moonsault with Rebel and Jamie Hayter when and Britt Baker was outside, but Britt Baker stepped away, of course.
Yeah.
And then some other stuff, but it's just it could have ended a bit sooner.
Yeah,
not that it dragged or anything.
No, it didn't drag or anything.
It's just that if they moved that situation later on, let's just say Jamie Hayter did forget what they did, the stomp outside, whatever, right? Go to where it was finishing. Conti does the moonsault, Britt throws her into the steps, stomp her head in the steps, bring her back in, stomp her head, lockjaw. Could have been just that.
Yeah, could have been. And it'd been fine because there was a bit of interference and that led to this.
And she still looks strong, but she's still got a finish there. And I don't know. I mean, Britt is good as a slimy heel as well, but it's just okay, You could have just had a win to make her look strong because you made Tay Conti look strong enough.
Yeah, but yeah, and even the Gotch power driver bit I thought was cool.
Yeah,
but then it led to nothing because I was like,
yeah.
You Gotch power driver there, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Cool. Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel bad because this is like the only female match on the main card, and
Well, no, it wasn't a bad match though.
It wasn't a bad match, but
it just, I think like last time we said with the women's match as well, that there was where the finish should have been, it wasn't, and the match continued as well. So I don't know if it's I don't want to say if it's a specific breaker thing or that she needs to make her opponents look strong. So, they've been told to make her look strong or her opponents look strong or whatever. But she shouldn't nullify her own moves to make someone else look strong.
Yeah, I think you're right though. I think it's something that I've been told because people do complain a lot about their women's division, which I kind of agree with to a certain extent. So makes sense. Missable, I would say.
Oh no, it was all right. It was all right, but yeah, I guess the like we're saying, if it finished where the lockjaw happened, I'd have been happy with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk.
It's okay.
This was a blitz of a match, I thought, because it just went
so quick.
Yeah. Even though it was like 10 minutes long, 11 minutes long, right? But they just blasted through everything, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. Even though a lot of it was sort of lumbering about to get to this point and lumber about a bit more to get to this point.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Yeah, it just moved really quickly for me, though, for some reason. I was like, oh, okay. Wow, it's finished already.
Yeah. It's like the shortest match on the card. You're like, okay.
But I think everyone looked like Eddie Kingston, like no one looked bad coming out of it.
No.
It looks like it was just okay. I would have thought it would have started like as a bigger brawl than it did.
Yeah.
But CM Punk got bloody, and it did cut. It was as close to a hardcore brawl as you could get without being hardcore because it was a normal match.
Yeah, that is true.
And I did like how Eddie Kingston basically did a spinning back fist right away before the bell.
What's funny about that? I turned around for a second and then I saw CM Punk on the floor. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And that's for rewind it back. It's like, oh, that's what happened. That's why he's on the floor. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I did. Oh, hold on. What do you think of CM Punk's ring gear?
I thought it was funny. He's like, oh, he's really doing the rounds, ain't he? He's, going back to his Ring of Honor days now.
Well, no, because his Ring of Honor days were as long as the basketball ones, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying like he had the shorts sort of like, oh, okay, cool. That's sort of.
You know what? It should be a running gimmick for him just as jokes. But every pay-per-view he has different length ring gear.
Yeah.
Because I know he did the first one with Darby Allin. He had like tights.
Tights, yeah.
And then he had his normal trunks afterwards, and then he had these. They're the length of biker shorts, except that they're more like you said, the MMA basketball ones.
Yeah. Kind of like Miro's ones.
Yeah. I would have. It'd probably be better if he just had the Okada style biker shorts.
Yeah.
Like the Moxley ones,
Yeah. Kind of high in the top, but short when it comes to lace. Yeah.
And actually are tight on his skin.
Yeah.
These were loose.
But anyway, I like them.
Sorry?
I like them.
Yeah.
I like them.
But I like this match. I thought it was. You said you didn't like it so much.
It was okay. It wasn't great or anything. I don't know. I think. Yeah.
Did you know the 5 moves of doom, right?
Yeah, of course. That made me laugh. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to John Cena.
Okay, so when he did a couple of shoulder drops and then I was like, shoulder tag, I was like, all right. The spinning back drop, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then he races down for the 5 knuckle shuffle. I was like, all right. But exactly what's the end game here? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Even though he did that day grin to the camera, like, yeah, people, yeah, I'm just doing it to troll.
Like, the only thing about that, I was like, this is cool, but commentary making no reference to it whatsoever.
Yeah, probably because they can't as well. But
well, they could have just said, because technically John Cena is an actor. He's not really a wrestler, so they could sort of.
Yeah, and the name of the move is the name of the move, so you got to call it what it's going to be called.
Yeah. So it's like it could have made other times they make like references to other things, but just this one was like, why didn't you mention it? But offhandedly, where it's not. If you know, you know. If you don't,
yeah.
But it just glazed past it. I was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I like this match. It went quick. It was like a wild brawl, but not Yeah. But you didn't like it so much.
Yeah, not that much. No.
All right.
Don't know why. It just didn't sit with me.
Probably, you know what? Maybe if you watch it the second time.
Maybe.
Punk got bloodied and Eddie Kingston, he got what he came for, even though he didn't win. So that was good. Punk went to shake Eddie Kingston's hand at the end, and Kingston's like, "F off."
So
well, he didn't do that. He didn't say "F off," but he just
that's
walked
what you
away.
wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, all right, well, okay, fair enough.
I think maybe if Kingston would have won, I think I may have thought differently of the match. I don't know why though.
Well, if they continue the storyline, Kingston can win.
Yeah. But then I don't know if they will have Punk lose anytime soon. That's the sort of thing with this. It's like Punk's always sort of going to win until he comes up against someone. Like,
they've got what, February is the next one, right?
Yeah.
The next pay-per-view. They've got time to do something.
Time. Yeah.
Like you say, it could have just been a one and done, like the Punk's other feuds. But you know,
might be one and done, but they might come back to it later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. Yeah.
All right. So it is Inner Circle, which is Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sam Guevara, Santina, and Ortiz, versus Men of the Year, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, and American Top Team, which is Dan Lambert, Junior DeSantis, and Andre Arlovsky, the MMA boys.
Yeah.
Hold on. Junior DeSantis and Andre Arlovsky being MMA guys, and Dan Lambert being.
I don't actually know what he is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Let's be honest, right? We know exactly who he is. He's there to get the pin.
Yeah, and I mean, but like,
he's there to take the pin. Sorry.
I don't know what he actually does.
Yeah.
Like, is he an MMA trainer, or is he just like a huge MMA fan that bought and?
Yeah, I don't think it was. When he was in the ring, he wasn't good, but I don't think he was meant to be good.
No, of course not.
Sometimes, you know, when you get hit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing with wrestling. Of course, everything's dramatic.
Yeah.
So if you're supposed to be KO'd, right?
Yeah.
And then you get hit, you still got to twitch on the ground. Yeah. Or sell the shot that's hitting you, even though you know that if you were actually genuinely unconscious, you would not be selling that, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes he wouldn't, and sometimes he would do the late sell.
Yeah.
A little bit of a flop, but it's just like, yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's an athlete, whatever he is, right? NFL. He's not a wrestler. So if they say you're going to be, when they put the match together and say to him, okay, you're going to be knocked out on this spot, and then we're still going to kick you after. He's thinking it, right? If I'm knocked out, then I don't sell. You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, okay, because when Matt Jackson was out, and he was going to he was taking the concerto. Realistically speaking, if he took the concerto, he'd just still be out. He wouldn't react, nothing. But when he took that concerto, he had that twitch to sell.
Yeah.
So Dan Lambert was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, sure, I guess. Yeah, it's like, all right, I guess.
I was actually, you know what? Was it Junior DeSantis that did the standing moonsault? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay. Maybe the MMA guys can do stuff in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, but then later on.
Yeah, exactly. I think what it is how it is when you see non-athletes, when you see athletes do wrestling, they don't realize how much cardio goes into it, even in multi-man matches.
Yeah.
So they start. when you get tired, and then you start not being able to reach certain spots at certain times. So Jericho went to do a lion salt.
Yeah.
And then he had to just basically jumped onto the rope to springboard and just waited
For
to get
ages.
hit. No. To be fair, it was probably a second or two. But that's a second or two is a long time in wrestling.
Yeah. Because I was like, when he did it, I was like, why is he stopping?
Yeah.
And holding onto the rope.
And I will say this, right? He knew the direction he was heading to, and he knew that the guy was like in the spot able to hit him.
Yeah.
Right. So when he started moving, he probably expected the guy to be there. So I wouldn't say it was Jericho's fault. He could plainly see, I think, that where DeSantis was meant to punch him. Just DeSantis didn't get there in time.
Yeah. But, like, it's an easy mistake, in all honesty, isn't it? So, I'm not going to crap on the guy, because there's been a lot worse botches.
Well, here's the problem with wrestling. Say, you don't think it's a long time when you're in it, right? But people can tell there's something. When you're watching it, you can tell there's something that's off.
Yeah. Yeah.
If someone takes too long to do something, they usually would have done, before.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only thing. Okay, that stood out to me. And the other thing, Ethan Page is a joker, right? Because who's that guy in the crowd? Baron.
Baron Ricker or something like the guy who created the Iron Claw or Master.
Baron von Strucker.
Yes.
No, he's not. Baron von Strucker, the Marvel guy, man.
That's Baron von. His name was Baron von Ricker or something like that.
Oh yeah. No, I said Baron von Strucker, like it, the guy who was in Hydra.
It could have been him. You never know.
the villain from Avengers 2. Anyways, yeah. So Ethan Page mouthing off when I think he threw one of the guys to the side and he started mouthing off at the guy's wife.
Yeah.
And then Baron von Strucker. No, sorry, Baron von Ruske.
Yeah.
Okay, the Baron, right? I'll call him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He grabs Ethan Page's hair. And you're like, all right, Ethan Page. Realistically, if you're having a match with everyone else, you would have just, if the guy grabbed your hair, you chop him or strike him or something like that, yeah?
Yeah.
But he just lets the guy hold his head and he sells the guy's bringing up the claw to everyone he's showing out, as you do, right?
Yeah. And
Ethan Page is just there selling the fear of this guy's hand, the claw. And I was like, Ethan Page, you're great. Because you don't look like a jabroni if you're doing it to sell fear.
Yeah.
If you just if you just didn't sell it, you'd be thinking, what's going on? But you have to show out. I mean, it's theatrical in wrestling, so you have to do that stuff. And so, he's like, no, the hand! No, they're bringing it, no!
But what I thought was funny is like, dude, both your, hands are visible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the first time he tried to reach to the claw and stop it from coming towards him with both hands, but then he stopped because the Baron, he put his hand out to Ethan Page, and then he looked at the crowd and brought his hand up.
Yeah.
Just so the crowd could see it. And so Ethan Page had to change his selling a little bit and go, no, please.
Yeah, I was like,
great.
That's hilarious.
I enjoyed that. Yeah. But yeah, this is another hardcore match, right?
Yeah, well, it was a street fight, so hardcore match.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
No other notes from me, other than the things I've said. It was all right. It was all right though.
Yeah, it was great. It was all. It was that sort of cool down you need before the main event.
Yeah.
Just wild stuff happening.
And things like the MMA guys or Dan Lambert not being the greatest. Look, it was silly and fun, but not memorable. Yeah, and you make allowances for who is in the match.
Yeah.
And Jericho won with a frog splash, Eddie Guerrero style,
because the day of Full Gear was the anniversary of his death, Eddie Guerrero's death. Does that make sense? That's why loads of people made Eddie Guerrero references today.
So we didn't point out, but in the Pentagon match, they also did some Eddie Guerrero moves.
Yeah.
Tribute.
So did Andrade. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. It's good, dumb fun. This match, right?
Yeah.
But you probably could. You probably, if it's not the greatest.
Nah, like I said, it's technically it's like take it or leave it. You don't need to watch it.
No.
but you're not losing out if you do watch. I mean, if you miss it, you're not losing out. If you watch it, you might be entertained. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Tony Schiavone introduces AEW's new signing, Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
That to the remix Macho Man music. I was like, all right.
Yeah, that kind of threw me off. I was like,
he's not Black Machismo.
Yeah, so why would you have that?
And it's not like when Bryan Danielson was coming out to the start of Valkyries, and then the music changes.
Yeah.
He literally just came out to Pomp and Circumstance, you know.
But yeah, it was weird. But I was like, cool. He's all elite. Good on him.
Challenging Sammy Guevara's open challenge for the TNT title.
Yeah.
And he's like, yep. Oh, to be fair, Sammy's already busted up from his match right now, so I would challenge him right now. But we gotta be the faces that we are. I can't come.
Yeah.
I'll let him heal a little bit.
Even though Jay Lethal works better as heel, but yeah.
Yeah. But that's the way that sets that up, so that's all right. Okay, so now to the main event.
Also, forgot to say that Ishii is teaming up with Orange Cassidy, the newest member of Chaos, to fight. I can't remember who they're actually wrestling.
But here's the thing: Orange Cassidy in Chaos.
Yeah, the best friends are part of Chaos now.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Orange Cassidy. You look at Chaos members, and then you look at Orange Cassidy. You go, this guy's so lax, though. He'd probably be better up in LIJ.
No, but the thing is, you know why it works with Chaos? Because Chaos is the only faction in New Japan. Makes no sense.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That too. All right.
Because none of them have anything in common. They're just a bunch of people that's like, yeah, we're in Chaos, and you keep forgetting that Chaos exists.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see that though.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because Ishii's always pretty solid.
Yeah,
everything he does.
And I think Okada's meant to be turning up on AEW soon.
Yeah, he's supposed to be coming at some point, but who knows exactly what they're going to do with him?
I don't know. Him and Kenny should have another match, and then Kenny should disappear for a while.
I'd like to see Okada mix up with other people.
Yeah.
Like Bryan Danielson. Brian said he's going to go and do the G1 at some point. So yeah. I want to see how that works out for him, because he's got lots of people he can mix up with there.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, definitely Daniel.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think who else.
What in Okada matches?
Yeah, in AEW, who else he could go against?
Yeah, but and I'm pretty sure you don't want him in the title mix, because
they won't do him in the title mix. It'd be like when Suzuki.
He'd either have to win or he'd have to lose, depending.
Yeah.
Not in the sense that it's a 50-50 or but New Japan might not want people Okada to lose.
He won't lose.
Yeah.
They'll do the whole.
AEW can't have him win their world title if he's going to go off and be elsewhere.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. They won't put him in the world title thing. Just like when Suzuki came over, they didn't put him in any world title matches. Just had a few matches and that was it. You don't need to put him in.
Bangers. Oh, so didn't mention before, but it was meant to be Moxley versus Bryan Danielson for the number one contenders match, but Mox had to
withdraw.
Because
personal reasons.
Now, let's just put it this way, right? If Mox was in the finals, do you think he would have beat Bryan Danielson?
I think he might have,
Yeah, I think they were setting up in that direction where Mox could have, obviously, if you don't want Bryan Danielson to lose clean, Mox could have just cheated slightly.
Yeah.
But it made more sense for Mox to win and the continuation of the main event, which we haven't got to yet.
Yeah.
Going further.
Yeah, because Mox could take the loss in the title match and be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Even so can Daniels.
Yeah.
But
I think they probably Mox could take the loss on Dynamite or something, but you probably want to save the Bryan Danielson match until a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Unless it's going to be a non-finish like with Kenny Omega last time. So
yeah, probably.
It's still be good either way. But let's onto the world title match.
To our main event. Yeah.
So Hangman Adam Page versus world champion AEW World Champion Kenny Omega.
Yep. Omega.
Yeah. And then they had the recap of Hangman's climb to the World Championship.
Yeah, for any failures, yeah.
Like, all right. You know? Okay. Yeah, I like this match. It was more of a... Okay, now, I wouldn't say... It was a more story-based wrestling match, as in not a story being told in the ring, but a story they were telling throughout the entire 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the conclusion of that. It's not as if they were like in the ring and like, okay, we're gonna set up and we have our 30 minutes to tell beginning to end. I think they upped the dramatics of the match later further through the match.
Yeah.
But I didn't start off like two guys hating each other. I guess it was more like Kenny being cocky.
Yep.
And Hangman saying, "Hangman, your disappointment. Prove me right or wrong either way." You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna start hard and fast, but they kind of didn't really go that way.
No, they built.
But then it suits the story and their characters to not do that.
Yeah. It was a building match.
Yeah. And well, obviously the heel and face alignment. Even though Kenny Omega is good wrestler, people hated him because he was assigned to be hated, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he accepts the hate. I thought it was really well done, and I like how some of them they were like they're trying to not kill each other, right? Because it wasn't that vicious of a match. But what they're doing is throwing like German suplexes, high angle German suplexes as well.
Yeah.
And then high angle back body drops as well. Not back body drops, belly to back suplexes as well. You're like, oof, that's dropping him back your head and shoulders there. And one German suplex that Kenny took, I didn't know if he was meant to flip on his feet, right?
Yeah, I thought the same.
But he just kind of landed on the top of his head, and then he went into the next move, so it made me think either he did it as a delayed spell, or he's meant to land on his feet with a flip, and he just didn't, and he still went into the next sequence anyways because he knew what he had to do. But either way, it looked good. I was like, oof, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. But there was some high angle head drops happening in this match.
Kenny's one of those wrestlers like Naito and Kota Ibushi who just like to drop themselves on their head. You're like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why you do this?
The less bones I have, the less bones I have on my night, the better. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
Right, all right.
Sure.
Like, all the time, but it's just like, wow. Sometimes you don't need to go that far.
No. It's going to be okay.
Yeah. Good set of V triggers happening as well.
Yeah.
As a cutoff, towards the end, like the later half of the match, is like he was just trying to cut off Adam Page with V trigger, like high knees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was mounting his comebacks. And I liked how Adam Page was taking some shots, and then basically he said, "Come on, Kenny." Kenny gives him more shots. He put it, and then Adam Page is like, middle finger, Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny gives him some more, and then Adam Page pulled off some nasty lariat.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's
that looks painful.
Yeah. That was the build. That was the build to that spot. So it's like it made sense. It was like, oof, yeah, you get him.
You get him, Kenny. Yeah.
You get him,
Kenny, Adam. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he reversed the buckshot lariat, the flip of the buckshot lariat with V-trigger.
Yeah.
And then like you're going to go and say, what about the one-wing angel? Go on.
Oh, when Kenny kicked out the one-wing angel.
Yeah.
I was okay with that.
Yeah.
Because it's his move. So,
yeah.
Like, if you ever watch Ultimate Muscle,
yeah,
one of the guys trained, kept on getting his own finisher given to him, so he would know how to get out of it later and kick out.
Yeah.
even though that logic makes no sense, but
No, but here it makes sense, right? Because your finisher is the move you mastered for the finish. Because you know how some people can finish other people with DDTs.
Yeah.
They mastered the DDT. Adam Hangman Page pulled up this move one time just to shove it in Kenny's face, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, he has not mastered it, and therefore, that's why Kenny kicked out.
Yeah,
that's my capability. Even though the move is the same, no matter.
Yeah, no matter what. But like you said, he mastered it, so he can put it off more devastating than anyone else.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Because like, if Adam Page, if Hangman kicked out of the V trigger, I mean not V trigger, the One Winged Angel, I'd have been like, ooh, I don't really like.
I don't want to say it would have been predictable, but it's just kind of you would expect it because you're thinking Hangman. This is the conclusion of the Hangman story. He has to win.
Yeah.
I think it would have got a pop, but it just would have been like you sacrificed the move for it.
Yeah, because that move's been like super protected.
Yeah.
And like I think it's one of the moves that should stay sort of that way.
Yeah. Until people say that Kota Ibushi was going to kick out of it, but I'm like, maybe not.
It's like
and moves also, by the way, that he can do it and unlatch, take a breather before the pin.
Yeah. Then that would make sense. Yeah. Like it should be retired when Kenny retires. Like when he has his last match, someone should kick out of it, and then that person will get the shine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I did like as well that Kenny was pretty well protected because he took a buckshot lariat from back, and then from another one when facing the direction of Hangman Page. I did like as well the Bucks came out.
Yeah.
Like and they sold the beating they had previous to that.
They like
they come
to the ring
out and everything like that, and you're thinking to yourself, "Where's the Dark Order?
Yeah.
Where's the Dark Order to stop the shenanigans?" And then you're also thinking to yourself, I hope the Bucks don't actually get involved.
Yeah.
It's one thing if they're just there to watch who's now going to be the lead of AEW, the number one guy. But it's another thing if they interfere. And they went to the different sides of the ring.
Yeah.
Nick Jackson watched Hangman, like Nick Jackson and Hangman made eye contact.
Yeah.
And Hangman then gave the buckshot to Kenny's back of the head.
Yeah.
And then he went to the other side to give him another one, and he looked at Matt Jackson, and Matt Jackson's like, even though Matt Jackson's holding his back, selling the beam that oh, is it head holding his head from the concerto? Anyways,
yeah,
him, and he's like, Hangman, you do it, man. He's nodding his head like, you go ahead. You're all good. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was like, oh, I like that. Because I think unless they just realise, since we've followed Kenny's logic in life, we've become dicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, that's cool.
And then they, after they finished, the Dark Order come out. I mean, rightfully, the Elite just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
The Dark Order came out and celebrated with Hangman Page.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It was good.
The ways things should have went.
Yeah.
So now we're speculating what
next.
Yeah, well, we would have assumed that Mox would have beaten Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
And he could take a loss on Dynamite, whatever they're going to do.
Yeah.
But it'd be intriguing how they're going to deal with Bryan Danielson. Now has won and he's number one contender, and they can't hold it off for 4 months.
No, he can easily lose on a Dynamite.
Yeah.
And
how's it going to? First of all, it'd be a major elevation for Hangman Page to beat Bryan Danielson, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be a shady loss.
Yeah, I reckon there will be. Yeah.
Or a draw, even. I mean, draw's fine.
Yeah, but I think it'd be shady, but not super shady. Like someone's gonna come out and sort of distract him, or something. Distract Daniels, and then something's gonna happen. And that'll lead to whoever he's gonna have a feud with next.
Yeah. Exactly. And then you could also have Adam Cole kicking out Kenny Omega from the Elite Super Click and go, "Yeah, your time is gone.
Yeah,
I'm the new lead now."
I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
because Kenny needs time off after
Yeah.
Everything he's done since being champion.
Oh yeah, he'd still be needing like surgery for certain things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, the best thing they can do if they need to eliminate him for that is have, Adam Cole be Adam Cole, you know?
Yeah, kick him out.
Yeah, and he's a good substitute as the next leader of the Elite.
Yeah,
He's got all the credibility as well.
yeah. So it'll work.
Yeah, there's loads of things they could do, and I'm intrigued of how they're going to do it. Mainly a good pay-per-view overall, though, right?
Yeah, good overall, good pay-per-view. Like you say in the beginning, I've never been like dissatisfied with any of their pay-per-views so far.
Yeah.
And this carried on the trend of being good.
Yeah.
But there's one thing, quickly going back, that I was expecting to happen but never happened. Mm-hmm. In the Cody Pack versus Malachi and Andrade, like leading up to this match, Malachi was saying someone in your house is going to betray you, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. You're Caesar, all this. So I thought something was going to happen in this match. No. I thought
Arn Anderson?
Yeah, I thought like Anderson or someone from the Nightmare family would like betray him. But no, unless, like we're saying, the long build and then it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It'd be hilarious, even though it makes no sense, if it was Brandy that betrayed him somehow.
Or he betrays himself.
Oh, even better. Even better, his freshly newborn kid betrays him.
Yeah, betrays him. It's like, he's my daddy now. Something like that.
Yeah, Malachi back. Like, this is my son. He calls me daddy.
I'm saying, it must be... That's the only thing I could think of. But, well, like we said, we've coded in a long thing, so I'm happy with that.
Well, look, like to say, I hope it goes somewhere. Because you know how sometimes they just write this stuff of saying, oh, he's playing my games, and they never come back to it.
Yeah. Which is they can easily do, which would be annoying. But yeah, we'll see.
But overall, well worth the cash that we paid for it.
Yeah.
Even though that's like what, £15 UK.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, man, worth it. Totally worth it. Watch it if you can.
Indeed. All right, that's okay. That's us signing off.
Yeah.
Have got any other notes?
No, not at all. Not at all at the moment. No.
Right.
So thanks you for listening, guys. Let us know if you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you an AEW fan as well?
Yeah.
Where do you see this Hangman Adam Page title reign going, and how long do you reckon he's going to have it for?
I am the All-American face who's actually a heel, CY Chung.
And I am Arn Anderson's Glock, Kyle Charles.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Right.
And thank you guys for taking a trip with us around the multiverse.
Thanks. Bye.